So exciting. What an amazing moment. We're watching all of the comments on the chat come up beside us, and we didn't even expect that. It's just amazing. Thank you to everybody joining us today. I'm going to try and keep it together. It's quite emotional for us too, as I know it is for a lot of people. Thank you so much, Michelle, Martine, Minister Rodriguez, Minister Ian, and Minister Boissonneau. We are so proud of this moment, not just for our team, but for our family, our children, and for all of their friends that are going to grow up in a world that, because of today, promises to provide acceptance, love, and understanding. This is about building the kind of world we want to live in and the country we believe in. This is an amazing moment for Canada, and we are honored to have been given this responsibility. It is not one that we take lightly. My name is Liz Reeford, and I'm the Principal Landscape Architect of Public City. We're speaking to you today. Our whole team is joining you today from Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Cree, Oji Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. I'd like to introduce you to our team. Artists Shauna Dempsey and Lori Milan, you two are so inspirational to work with. What a friendship we've developed throughout this process. I'm so excited to continue our work together. Thank you. Albert McLeod, Indigenous and Two-Spirit Advisor. I know I speak for our team when I say you continue to teach us with every conversation. I can feel my relationship to the work and the land evolving every time we talk. Thank you. Taylor LaRocque, Associate Landscape Architect at Public City. Where would I be without you? We've been working towards this for a long time. Thank you to you and to our whole team at Public City. And Peter Sampson, Principal Architect of Public City, my partner. We wouldn't be here unless we had believed in each other and started Public City with a shared vision of what landscape architecture and architecture can be when we work as one. Thank you also to our engineering team, Wolfram Engineering of Winnipeg, and the engineering offices of ARUP in Toronto and Montreal. We're going to do some great work together. And thank you to the other shortlisted teams who are comprised of our peers, our mentors, and our friends, and for whom we hold the utmost respect. Your excellent work was both inspiring and moving. We are honored to have been chosen to design the LGBTQ2+ National Monument. Thank you to the LGBT Purge Fund, the jury and its advisors, and everyone else who fought so hard for this monument and for this moment in history. We are now very excited to share the design of Thunderhead with you. Shauna?
It was a challenge to design a monument that's relevant to all LGBTQ2+ people. We have different identities and histories. However, there is a unifying characteristic: persistent endurance in the struggle for basic human rights and strength to pursue life, sex, and love, to build families and communities despite societal hostility.
I recalled the nearly indescribable, expansive feeling that filled us all as we marched, surrounded by hundreds or thousands, or danced at Pride, or stood up for an idea. I started trying to sketch something that reflected that complicated energy of rage, of righteousness, of pleasure and power, and landed on the image of a thunderhead, an embodiment of an energy expanding and transmuting, an essential natural force.
Indigenous understandings of the natural world tell us that thunderclouds are where the thunders live. We call these amorphous spirits thunderbirds, the connectors between the realms of the sky and the earth. The thunderbirds cleanse the land with rain, lightning, and wind, and set things right. This idea, a powerful thunderhead cloud that can contain divine sparks of desire, anger, and inspiration, and begin to set things right. This is what inspired our design.
We created various models exploring the notion that despite the imposing nature of a thunderhead, it is essentially vapor, an uncontainable material. This mutability is incorporated in our design.
The monument we propose is a void that is left behind by the imprint of this towering thunderhead. It is a seemingly impermeable and monumental column that has been disrupted and defeated by an internal and expanding mass of energy. As thunderhead breaks through that void, its energy, well, it has become the monument itself. As well, with its interior clad in this mosaic of mirrored tile, it's as if hundreds of disco balls were at the root of this move. Thunderhead seeks to capture both celebration and turmoil. Slide, please.
The interior space that the cloud would occupy holds the memory of all those we have lost, all the lives that ended too soon through the effects of the purge, including fear, suicide, addictions, the AIDS pandemic, and violence. We are mindful that it must represent all of these losses. Many victims of the purge did not live to see this day.
This is the site plan of the park and monument with the site outlined in yellow. Thunderhead is in the column at the center of your screen, shown by the yellow arrow in the neck, yeah, right there. There are two major zones of the park. The green open area to the southwest of Thunderhead is a sloping lawn wrapped by a path and bridge that leads to the monument. The area to the northeast of Thunderhead includes a healing circle, a medicinal garden, seating areas, and an orchard.
One of the first elements our team agreed upon was a stage, a space that gives voice to. This is an acknowledgement of the essential role the arts have always played in resistance and in building LGBTQ2+ culture. Anyone can occupy this space, take up this space, stand up and say, I am.
This monument draws upon symbols of nature and culture. The thundercloud is powerful, rising up as queer communities have risen up. Although many were called unnatural, deviant, the use of an image from nature asserts that we are all a valuable part of the web of life.
At the same time, the mirror ball-like interior references queer culture and its fight for human rights. By this, we mean the thousands of mirrored tiles inside Thunderhead encourage us to reflect upon not only the many lives changed or lost forever during a dark period of Canadian history, but as well those individuals and identities that comprise our country's diverse LGBTQ2+ community now and for generations to come.
The curved path leads to the monument and orients the visitor to the Ottawa River, the historic trade route of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people, and one of the many waterways across this land that form the connective tissue between Indigenous nations.
On the north side of Thunderhead is a healing circle and fire pit, ringed by stones contributed by two spirit elders from Canada's 13 territories and provinces, and symbolizing the 13 moons of each year. In this view of the medicinal garden, you will also notice the lookout that faces both the river and Parliament at the end of the bridge, and allows visitors to look back through Thunderhead to the stage and beyond.
All of the other national monuments in Ottawa should be 10% queer, but they're not. We want to create one that is 110% queer, 110% ours, an identifiably queer space that welcomes everyone 365 days of the year. We want this monument to be a highly visible symbol of how we survived, asserting that we are proudly, unapologetically here and will be invisible no longer. Thank you so much to the Purge survivors and the Purge Fund for making this LGBTQ2+ national monument possible for us all.